Hey guys, welcome to the show. My name is Ecudez17. Um, of course, that's not my real name. That's just my pen name. Um, this is gonna be the first of hopefully many episodes of this new podcast that I'm trying out here. Um, um, I want this to basically be a place where I can talk my shit. Um, for lack of a better term. Um, I want it to serve as a place where we can speak on philosophy, we can speak on current events, news, do some type of bro talk, and things of that nature. Um, I've always kind of felt like I've had a different point of view than most. I've always felt like I was kind of a unique thinker insofar as I have always been a thinker. Um, you know, uh, it seems like most people um, kind of live life um, without ever stopping to think about what it is that they're living through, and I'm typically the opposite. I've typically spent a lot more time thinking than living. um I used to be called teasingly so. I was always referred to as the philosopher growing up, right? So I've always had um my mind on the in between the lines of society. Um, I'm also neurodivergent, which you probably may or may not have picked up on already, but I feel like that also um, gives me unique perspective into various different topics, right? Um, you will see me looking at my phone um, from time to time. Hopefully not so much that it becomes some sort of distraction to what we're trying to do here. Um, but what I did was equipped myself with prompts and talking points and things of that nature on this phone. Um, Off the top of the head, um, I mean, I don't know if that's really the best format for it is for some. Some people can riff off the top of their head. I guess I might be able to, or as well, depending on the level of comfort that I have. Um, but with this being, I'll probably always do it this way. I wanted to have things to reference while I'm going through this conversation, right? So, thank you guys for tuning in, and you know, I've designed this show this way on purpose, and it's going to remain this way for the foreseeable future, which is like low production, just me talking and stuff like that. But enough about me. I did want to go over just a couple things today to kind of get us off on the right foot. Not sure how many of of you guys follow football in any of its forms. but I used to be a huge football fan growing up um, until about a little bit prior to 2020. Um, so from like ages 4 to like ages 30, I was really into football, and it was the Cowboys for me, right? I was a Cowboy fan, like the Patriots a little bit, and I was a huge Deion Sanders fan. Deion Sanders is probably, yeah, Deion Sanders is my favorite football player of all time. Um, his speed and um, ability to play Frogger on the football fields is something that I really enjoyed watching, and his swagger, his style, um, that made a big difference for me too. It was really cool to see somebody make the rest of the field look like they were running in sand, and so his son is coming out, or his son just got drafted recently, and there was a big thing about him kind of dropping. A lot of people expected him to go. Um, well, nobody expected him to drop to the fifth round. Um, Most people expected him to be a not only a first round pick, but a relatively high first round pick, right? I wasn't seeing too many pundits that had him outside of the top 10, but um, we all know what happened there. A lot of teams, the reports claim that there were teams that just did not appreciate his attitude and things of that nature. Um, but you know, one of the prompts that I have here, um, it was to discuss whether I find Shedeur to be um, cocky, if I find him to be confident, and what's my thoughts on the flashiness that he brings to the table insofar as the watches, the cars, things of that nature, and you know, I said it was traditionally a sign of immaturity to be flaunting to that extent. Uh, I'm kind of at a point in my life where I personally enjoy living frugally, um, or at least I've told myself to live frugally and have. I'm only doing it to for the end means, right? I'm only living frugally so that I can be wealthy, and like once I'm wealthy, I like smooth cars. I like shiny diamonds and shiny metals and stuff like that. And so, I can't say that I wouldn't be doing the same thing. And, when I wouldn't expect any less growing up in that environment anyways. I mean, it's an environment heavily categorized by jewels and whips, right? Like, um, I mean, look at who his pops is. Like his dad is, I don't want to say the jewelry man, but like, you know, um, Flash might as well be in their family name, right? Flash Sanders, you know what I mean? Um, yeah, I couldn't guarantee that I wouldn't be doing the same thing. Um, I think his confidence drives his whatever cockiness is perceived, right? I don't think he would be perceived as cocky, or he would be doing things that would be perceived as cocky if he didn't have uh, confidence in himself, right? Um, do do we judge black athletes differently when they flex? I don't think so. I don't think so. Black athletes or black people in general, you know, I think of Takashi 6ix9ine. I think of Post Malone. I think anybody who is flexing out with like ice and chains and this, that, and the other thing. I think about like the Island Boys. I don't know how much they do with jewelry, but I know like their tattoos are very vivid. You know, um, that might be parallel, but not the same. I guess the point I'm trying to make is that like it's stick anybody who is flexing is going to stick out. I don't think black, white, or something else um really makes a difference. I think anybody who has has a lot of jewels and glitz and glamour and things like that is gonna stick out. You know what I mean? I don't but um how do you think playing under Deion Sanders um impacted Shedeur's development and perception? Um I put that it's kind of hard for me to speak on their relationship. Um, I don't want my biases coming through. I I typically have I'm typically hesitant when it comes to um, the possibility of narcissistic parents being overly involved in their children's lives. Um, and that sometimes forces me to overlook the positive impact that having a parent in your life has, right? So um I don't know their relationship. um they seem to have a good bond. you know um do I think being the son of a legend creates more privilege or more pressure? um I think privilege brings pressure, because you're going to have many people who wish they were in your shoes. So therefore, they're going to either be watching your success or cheering for your success, trying to live through you vicariously, or they're going to be cheering for your downfall because of jealousy, right? Um, would he still be this confident without his father's presence? I don't know. I That kind of gets into the whole nature versus nurture thing. Um, but with that being said, I don't think it hurts having arguably the greatest cornerback of all time as your father when you're trying to play the quarterback position, right? Some of the insights that you can get as a quarterback from a DB, I would imagine is invaluable. Right. So I think that's probably helped him out a lot um in reading coverages, specifically, mainly, right? Um, and knowing how like defensive backs are thinking and what makes things difficult on the defense. What can a quarterback do to make things a little extra difficult on the defense? So I'm sure having Dion as a father definitely helped him as a quarterback for sure. You know. Um um setting setting aside the flash, like just as a quarterback, how does Shedeur look on the field? Um, to me, Shedeur Sanders is the type of quarterback that I would go to bat for, right? I haven't I haven't seen a quarterback as NFL ready as Shedeur Sanders is since Andrew Luck, right? Um, I feel like Shador has the poise. I feel like he has the footwork. I feel like he has the accuracy on all three levels. He was playing with a Swiss cheese offensive line and was able to show that he can extend plays. He's not the fastest in the world, but he can still scramble. Um, I mean this in the best way possible when I say that he would make the perfect bus driver as far as I'm concerned. And I don't think that's a bad word. I don't think that's a dirty term. I don't think that's the limits of what he can be. But I'd like to see him in an offense that can run the ball on a team that has a good defense and allow him to just be a smart, um, take what the defense gives you type of quarterback, maybe in like a West Coast system or something of that nature. And I think he's gonna be a problem. I think he's gonna be a problem, unless he ends up on a team, um, unless he ends up like Andrew Luck on a team where he's getting annihilated on a consistent basis by the defense. I think he should be great. I think he's gonna. I think he should have went one. I think he should have been the first quarterback off the board. That's if I had a team, that's how I would do it. You know, um, but I mean, obviously, I don't have a football team, and I don't think these owners really know exactly what the heck they're looking at, anyways. But it's a different topic for a different day. Um, yeah, that kind of goes through pretty much all the prompts that I had for Shador. Does he need to improve? Like, sure, of course he needs to improve. He needs to improve on everything, like any young quarterback. But like I said, I think he's starting at a better place than most do. All right, Joe. So we're gonna move on to Grand Theft Auto 6. Um, so apparently, I didn't hear about the delay. Um, Apparently, I think it was supposed to come out in 2025, but they just pushed it back again to like May 26, 2026 or something like that. Um, so Grand Theft Auto can continue to be a running joke, talking about, hey, this, that, and the other thing will happen before we see a Grand Theft Auto game. Um, but with that being said, it seems like Rockstar had given us they gave us another trailer to kind of like hold us over for a little bit longer, to satiate us slightly. I watched the trailer. It was a great trailer, you know. I'm sure you can find it on YouTube, if you haven't seen it already, right? And there's tons of creators that are making like reviews for it and stuff like that. Um, so I'm just kind of gonna give my 2 cents because, you know, that's why I'm here. But one of um they're saying like, is this the most anticipated game of all time? I think it is. I think it is the most anticipated game of all time, and it's not just because of the gameplay, um, but the time. You know, if this was a game that was released annually like Madden, I think there would still be a ridiculously high anticipation surrounding it, a high level of anticipation surrounding it. But the fact that we haven't gotten a Grand Theft Auto game in like 13 years, right? Um, yeah, like, yeah, people are waiting and people have been waiting, and this game, what we can imagine the improvements to be, yeah, it's supposed to be revolutionary, right? Um, I mean, you look at what Red Dead Redemption was able to do, and you think like, if Grand Theft Auto can improve on that by 10%, it's we're in a whole different world, like metaphorically and, figuratively speaking, but like literally speaking too, right? Um, I mean, the time it's taken for them to release it though is just it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, but like, it's weird because nobody is going to say, "Hey, it's been too long. I'm not buying your product when it comes out now." Right? Nobody's gonna do that. It's the longer they make us wait, the more we want the freaking game, and they know that, and we know that, and everybody knows that, and but the deal is that it's gonna be worth it. That's what the deal is. So we'll see if that's the case. I'm hoping it is, by what I've seen, what I know about Rockstar, by what I know about Grand Theft Auto games that I've played in the past, from what I see on these trailers, from common sense, from trajectory speaking, like, I have every reason to believe that this game is going to be um it. It's gonna hit. It's gonna be worth it, right? Um, I liked the trailer. Um, Grand Theft Auto has a way of making you feel like you're in a living, breathing universe. And I think the trailer showed that we shouldn't expect any less from the game this time around either. Um, so I think that this game will move the series forward. I mean, to what end? I mean, I think I I think this game will offer us some features that have never been offered before, and will and these features will force the industry to also include those features in their games, right? So, um, I'm hoping that Grand Theft Auto 6 lets you enter a majority of the buildings with on the map, whether that's commercial or residential. I just want most of the buildings to be interactable with. Um, and if they do that, it's going to be hard for games in the future to not do the same, right? So I think, are they moving their own product forward? I think in just the features that they're going to give us. Um, but I don't think that they have a specific end in mind, right? I don't think their stories are progressing towards anything, right? I think they're just various snapshots of individuals within a theme, right? Um, mm, mm, mm. Is Grand Theft Auto just escapism, or is it something deeper? Um, I mean, I chalk it up to you know to escapism. I'm not really gonna go deep onto the pros and cons of video games at a societal level. I mean, they Grand Theft Auto concerns me far less than horror movies, for example. I don't think humans were really meant to watch horror movies, and though I say that, and in the future I'll probably review one or two of them, but um, yeah, I think it's just escapism, and it's a huge game, but Minecraft is a huge game as well, and if Madden wasn't available annually, people would be going wild for Madden as well. I don't think there's anything like inherently concerning about where Grand Theft Auto is right now. What does GTA mean to me personally? Well, GTA was the first sandbox game that I've ever played. It was the first game that allowed me to travel outside of a mission zone. It was the first game that I felt like I was partaking in an actual adventure. I felt free in Grand Theft Auto. It was kind of a culture shock. Um, Grand Theft Auto 3 is the first one that I played, and I loved it. I loved it for all those reasons, right? The idea that you can jump into an open world and just chill, like just be a general nuisance, just kind of drive around and you know, I think it was great. Just watch the city unfold and stuff like that. I am anticipating the day where these NPCs are going to be like AI powered, AI operated. I know we have some games like that already, but like imagine a Grand Theft Auto where you can casually interact with all the NPCs and they have like chat GPT type uh intellect. I think that would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. Um but that's kind of getting ahead of ourselves. Um, yeah, I mean, I've played all the GTA since part three. You know, it's a vibe. Like the whole experience is a vibe, and yeah. Okay, so now here I have this like written down outro. It's like, okay, guys, thanks for tuning in. This episode was just a feeling out process, getting a rhythm, seeing how it feels, and if you like what you heard, stick around. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much what it was. This episode was really just kind of like a feeling out process. I don't know if I'm going to become more smooth as a podcaster moving forward or if this is just going to be my style. I have never spoken into a camera. Speaking into a camera, having my face like right underneath it, um, brand new experience for me. And I don't know. It's different. It's different. It's really different to talk into a camera and see your own face at the same time. And anyways, I'm not complaining. I had fun. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to my thoughts and stuff like that. I plan on doing this more in the future. Hopefully, I can get an episode a week where we can discuss some of the bigger topics. I know today was a little bit on the lighter side. Um, we talked about football and video games, but the world could be a really serious place sometimes as well. So um, we can uncover some heavy topics in the future. Um, but for now, I was just kind of getting this out there to kind of just getting a feel, and I was in the mood to just do football and video games. Um, Thank you all for your time. If you do want to check me out further, just check out the description. I'll put my website and my Instagram. My website is coolecudez17.com. Of course, I would call my own website cool, but my website I believe is cool insofar as I offer a blog, I offer essays, like written essays, um, that you could check out. There's a free to use philosophy forum on there. Um, I have books, I have shoes, um, so definitely worth checking out. Ultimately, I want my website to be an entertainment hub, a place that people can go and scroll around and have fun. Outside of that, my Instagram is mainly artistic expression with philosophical, subtle subtext, right? Um, yeah, yeah, cool. Very good. Thank you guys again for joining me, and I hope y'all have a great day. Till next time, goodbye.